In this video, we're going to look at the female reproductive organs of a rat. In sequence, we've opened up the abdomen, removed many of the abdominal organs. As a quick note, we're going to take a look at the kidney first, actually. So, cut it in half. Here's a kidney. You can see the adrenal gland right on top of the kidney. You can see blood vessels. So there's an artery and vein going to the kidney. Now there's a ureter that's going to carry the urine. And what I did is I sort of dissected it down just using this blunt probe to follow the ureter. So this is a tube, and it goes all the way down to this unpaired structure in the middle, which is the bladder. Well, the bladder is pretty small, but that's simply because it's not filled with anything. Okay, so this you can actually see that this ureter, which is this white line here, actually goes all the way to the bladder. Okay, so that's enough for the kidneys. So let's look at the female reproductive organs. We can start by looking at the openings. So we have the opening here, so urine would come out of the urethra. Just below that we have the vagina, and finally we have the anus. Okay, so let's look at the reproductive organs. Now there's something I should point out in the middle here. This is the colon, or large intestine. So that's the structure, and I've cut it off, so it's kind of short here. Don't confuse that with anything else. It's not involved in reproduction. So the main things you can see here are the uterine horns. So they have a sort of slightly spiraled appearance. So they form the body of the uterus, which is right here at the base of the Y, and from there you connect up to the vagina. So it connects to the vagina. Now, if we look at the ends of the uterine horns, we can find the ovary. So the ovary is right here. Let me bring this up closer to the camera. So that's an ovary, and you can actually feel it's got kind of it's quite hard or dense, I guess, and it has kind of a granular appearance. Let's look at the other side. You can see at the end of this uterine horn, again, here's the ovary. Okay, so it's got almost kind of a grainy appearance. That's the ovary. Now you'll see a lot of this red material here. That's fat. Okay, it just happens to have taken on a reddish color. That's probably a part of the fixation process. You'll see some more fat, which is yellowish in color, sort of a dark greenish yellow color. That's probably more typical of fat. But anyway, that is fat that's associated with the uterine horns. And of course, this goes to the uterine body, to the vagina, and then you have the vaginal opening here. One other thing. Some of the female rats are actually pregnant, and so if you look at the uterine horns, you'll see these bumps. So you can actually dissect into that, remove what's inside, and you'll find a fetus, and you'll find a placenta and a fetus, and so forth. So rats are different than humans in the sense that humans do not have uterine horns. We have fallopian tubes in the place of the uterine horns, and those come together into a single uterus. So humans have what's called the simplex uterus. That means a single uterus, unpaired uterus along the midline, whereas the rat has the uterine body there, the place of where that uterus would be in a human. And rats have these two uterine horns. Now, why do they have uterine horns? Well, humans typically have 1 to 2 babies per pregnancy. Rats can have many more. How do they do that? Well, the fetuses actually, the embryo first implants itself in the wall of the uterine horn, and then a placenta forms and so forth, and you get the development of the fetuses along the uterine horns. So you could imagine that there might be a number of fetuses all developing on both sides. And then when it's time to give birth, or closer to time to give birth, those move down towards the vagina and they come out. Okay, so it's a little bit different in the fact that they can have so many pups. And I think that's about it. That's it for the female reproductive organs of the rat.